and looked a little bit shaky in the laning phase to start off, but they quickly fired back. They got a bunch of early towers on the backs of the Death Prophet and the DK, just really strong pushing heroes, really strong team fight, and Duskbin just, there was one big engagement up near their top tier 2 where they underestimated just how hard the Death Prophet could hit, as well as all those other nukers with Power Shot, Dragon's Breath, and from there they just, AEON never looked back. They took that tower down and they had complete control of the game. They knew it and they won. So AEON looks very strong. And the question is for Duskbin, what adjustments do you make? We talked about this a little bit in the pregame, but godz, any sort of additional thoughts, or how would you like to see them construct their draft differently?
Oh, I think they need to be the ones who go for that early winner pick, or at least have something that they can sort of structure the game around. I mean, they had some nice picks there. They structured the game around an anti-mage, and I never like when teams sort of have the game all about that hard carry. They had the Beastmaster and Enigma to back him up, but you need to have something else working your way to make it so you have an early and mid, at least some early to mid game power. It's okay for your early to mid game strategy to be about turtling, or at least having a slow paced game, but they can't have it be all about protecting anti-mages. They need to be applying pressure elsewhere. I mean, even going for something like a Brood who can push down those side lanes, put on some pressure. Right there, it was just no pressure at all being put on by Duskbin, so they need something to switch things up this game. We will see a few different changes in the ban. I don't think we saw... Did Sankin get banned out last game? I think, if anything, it was banned by Duskbin, but that's something a bit new here, as we will be seeing this time around. It is AEON with the first pick and first ban, and on the Dire side. So winning on the Radiant side with the second pick was a big thing for AEON.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree, and we will be seeing whether or not they want to go for another sort of style of play similar to the last. I mean, have those sort of tanky pushing heroes. I mean, the Death Prophet, the DK, they don't have to go for those exact same heroes, but having that style of play where you go for the mid game push, it's very reminiscent of what World Elite did. They had completely different heroes. They had a Darkseer, they had a Prophet, they had a Tidehunter as well, but they were tanky heroes going for that mid game push. And when you've got those BKBs, or you have a mech and pipe up, suddenly that push is really hard to stop, especially when you have heroes like Duskbin did last game. So that's something that we will be seeing some adjustments from. And now here we go. Many heroes left in the pool. Namely, I'd say the most significant one probably going to be the Prophet, but also Chen has not been banned out. With the Enchantress being banned out, that could be the go-to hero for AEON, although they don't often run those jungle heroes. It's more likely to see Duskbin go for the Chen here. AEON pick up the Prophet, and without a doubt, I'd say Duskbin going to go for the Chen. They do like to run that. I think it's usually AEON who plays the Chen, although he has been switching to the solo with the new 2 players, so it could be Hashiko or Lei who do play the support Chen.
Windrunner Chen would be such a strong opening here, giving them really great lanes. It's going to be the Earthshaker, though. Ooh, and this gives away a Prophet Chen, potentially. I mean, you're right, AEON doesn't run junglers too often. But if you have the opportunity to get a Prophet and a Chen on your team, how can you turn that down? And in fact, AEON can't. They can't turn it around. It's too tantalizing. If you throw in that Death Prophet or that DK here as well, that is a really scary push.
I'd pick the DK right now, and that would be something that, I mean, DK works really... The ES winner in a combo, DK is so good against. He's a hero that you can naturally buy pipe on. He's naturally tanky, and I feel this is just get the DK here, go for that sort of 20-25 minute push with the Chen creeps, the Prophet. Oh, this is... I don't like what Duskbin have done with giving away Chen as well as Prophet.
As bad as it looks, they did get something great for themselves in this situation, which is the spamming anti-push potential of the Windrunner and the Earthshaker. Very strong defensive heroes, and against the Prophet, against the Chen, who are likely to be either diving your towers or at least pushing them. You need all that spam, you need all that defensive capability to help keep your heroes alive. So all is not lost for Duskbin, but this opening leaves a lot of potential for Duskbin to get pushed down early. We saw them go for that hard carry anti-mage. When you give away a Prophet and a Chen, if you go for a hard carry, you're probably going to lose the game. I mean, unless AEON makes some big blunders. Those heroes just take too long to get going. Maybe something like a Morphling could be okay, but I think an anti-mage in particular is just flat out of the question here. Not going to give you that AoE, not going to give you that anti-push. Takes too long to come online. Crystal made it as well. Would not be surprised at all to see her dual roaming with the Chen pretty early on. Maybe look to support whatever that carry or semi-carry is in the safe lane to start, and then they can go for some smoke ganks once that carries enough items, enough levels to be left alone safely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think this CM pick's okay. I mean, just gives them some sort of strong lane setting, a strong laning step. It is one of the strongest supports to have in a dual lane, especially if it's in a 2v1 scenario. CM is probably the best support almost. Maybe you could say Venomancer with the Gale having one of the longest slows in the game. But the CM does work nicely there, and also can combo well with the Chen. You can always go back into the jungle, group up with the Chen, go for a smoke gank on either the mid lane or just go wandering around the map, looking to sort of backstab that safe lane from behind, going through the river. So third pick now for Duskbin. I'm wondering what can they go for here. I mean, they had the Enigma last game. It is a strong hero. It does give them some power in the laning stage because of that conversion, although they ran it. I mean, running it in the jungle does somewhat make your lanes a bit weaker, so we'll be definitely interested to see what they want to go for. If they want to go for that Morphling, which they have used very effectively, I think Morphling, he can use that wave as an AoE spell to help kill those heroes, focus down someone fast. With a power shot plus fissure combo, Morphling would not be all that bad here.
Yeah, Morphling wouldn't be bad. Leshrac wouldn't be bad. That's what they go with. I was also about to say, maybe Duskbin should take that DK away. But Leshrac, potentially the more scary push hero, does need a little bit less to get going, can start that push right away at level 1 or 2. So that pick as much a deny. Oh, and they followed up by banning the DK. I think that's really smart. So they are removing out a lot of the options here for AEON in terms of follow-up pushers. I mean, if you want to go hardcore push, there's Pugna in the pool. There's a couple of other heroes you could select. Crobulus obviously still available. I would not be surprised at all if Duskbin bans that out. Or excuse me, the Death Prophet, I should say. As that is their Dota 2 name. I am curious, what will AEON go with? They don't have to go all in push. It's just that they have the option to do so if they want. With this many spammers being picked up by Duskbin, maybe they'll opt to go for a little bit more late game insurance. Maybe a double semi-carry or a hard carry. Of course, Anti-Mage, Faceless Void, Riki. There's a bunch of hard carries left in the pool. Out of all of those Anti-Mages.
AEON
go ahead.
AEON like the anti-mages themselves. I mean, they pick it on a fairly frequent basis, and I have to agree, they don't have to go all out with the push here. They've got the Chen who can just play a more defensive way, look to get some early kills to help out a hero like anti-mage. They're going to ban out the anti-mage, but I mean, they can go for a hard carry still. But the fact they banning out the anti-mage and Morphling, if they were going all out for push, they'd probably leave a hero like anti-mage in the pool here. Maybe they're just too worried about the fact that their early push may not succeed against heroes like Earthshaker, Winner, and Leshrac. That's a lot of spam. But we'll see what they want to go for. I feel like a hero who can get BKB as a carry hero is going to be needed against all those chain disables. I want some BKB buyers. Even a Broodmother. Brood is still in the pool. That could be something they run as a side lane hero, and they could get some kind of dual lane carry. Even to go for a Slatter. I mean, Slatter with a BKB just initiating in could be very effective.
It's going to be a Leviathan that gets the ban here, so a lot of teamfight being removed out, and if you want to go for those early pushes or the mid-game teamfights, either way, it's a powerful ally to have at your side. If you're going for the push, similar to a Night Stalker, Tidehunter can just charge in, drive everyone back from the tower, and really get those towers secured easily for you. Of course, we all know how good Ravage is in those teamfights later on. So really, if you look at Duskbin's last couple of bans here, they're very tanky, sort of frontline based heroes, and that is what AEON is lacking now. So I like the choice. One of them is a carry, two of them more of sort of support / initiator types. I'm very curious to see what AEON goes for. Yes, they banned out the hard carries, but maybe they have sort of a semi-carry in mind they really want to pick up. It's going to be the Slaughter, so it is going to be that semi-carry, and hey, that gives you some late game insurance. It also gives you a hero that's very effective against intelligent semi-carries like the Leshrac, as well as the Windrunner, because they don't have the best armor. Sure, you can go for Mechanism, that'll help a little bit, but generally, that amplified damage is really going to help you to burst these heroes down, and gives your whole team a DPS boost. They still have room for something like a Mirana or a Weaver as well, if they want to go for another semi-carry, I think they have the lanes to do it.
10 seconds
So we'll have to see, but I like this
yeah.
pick by AEON. It leaves their options open, and they can sort of react to
5
Duskbin's fourth pick
seconds
here.
remaining.
Yeah, no, this is a really nice pickup for them, I have to agree. And we'll see what Duskbin want to go. Duskbin have what has been a very sort of common trio here is the ES winner, the Leshrac, their fourth pick. Now, they may just go for one of their supports here. We'll see if Leshrac will be played as support with the Earthshaker, although I would like to see a Leshrac farmer. We haven't seen many Leshracs played as a farmer. I mean, it's something that initially was where he was mostly used, but throughout this tournament, he's just being played as a support or a hard support and hasn't had great impacts on games. Storm Spirit is, there we go, something different from Duskbin and something that is going to have a very aggressive mid-game. And I think it works well against these Dire heroes. I mean, great for catching off heroes like the Prophet. Siem and Chen are both fairly squishy as well. The problem is going to be if AEON look to push and group up, a hero like Storm Spirit may find it hard to find those openings. But with ES and Winner, any hero who can go flying in or can blink in works really well because ES and Winner will get them instantly down, chip them down, get them half HP, stun multiple heroes at once. You've got the Leshrac as well, a lot of AoE stun, and I really like this. And speaking of going for a secondary carry, there it is, a Clinkz pickup.
Ooh, and Clinkz can be one of Storm Spirit's worst nemesis because he rushes that Orchid almost every game, and that silence completely negates all of Storm's ability to set up ganks to escape. If you zip in and you get silenced or crushed, you are dead. Frostbite as well. Gonna give you another way to hold that Storm in place when he is silenced, so a nice pickup there. It gives them that really strong lane. He'll probably be seen in that safe lane. We could see a Prophet in the off lane, a dual lane mid with the Crystal Man and the Slaughter. That would be my best guess. And a Lion as the final pickup. It gives them a lot of lockdown. I mean, if you look at Duskbin, that is an outrageous number of disables. They have the Impale, they have the Hex, they have the Pull from the Storm, they have the Split Earth, the Fissure, Earthshaker's other stuns with the Aftershock, plus Shackle. But BKB will counter all of these. Nothing goes through BKB. If AEON can farm that BKB up, if they can get ahead, Lion is very squishy, Storm is very squishy. In fact, every single hero on Duskbin is very squishy. None of them have high base armor, so the Slaughter is only going to make that worse. It's really going to come down to the slating phase. And I got to give the edge to AEON in that regard because they've got the Prophet and the Chen, as well as the Crystal Maiden, and even Clinkz extremely strong in lane. So I think with AEON they have the better chance of getting that fast start that they need.
10 seconds
I mean, these Duskbin heroes, none really have escape spells if Chen goes for some early ganks with those creeps. I mean, they've got a lot of disables. They can throw down fissures, use Windrunner. Windrunner is the only hero who does have an escape spell there, but if you do have the lockdown, you can use the CM to just Frostbite when you pop the Windrunner and wait for it to wear off. I'm hoping this line's played as a solo or a farmer, but it doesn't look like it. It is going to be Hashiko, their support player, who is on it. I think a farming role line, either as a solo, I mean, they could have ran line as a solo and Windrunner in that trialing. Could have maybe had a nice mid to late game impact. It's really useful. I mean, 4-star Blink Dagger, you can pick off heroes like the Clinkz here, but I've got this feeling that AEON are just going to have such a great laning stage, especially if Chen can have some early ganks, and Clinkz may get out of control here.
It's going to be a really tough laning stage. I mean, Duskbin, they have the heroes to punish over aggression, but if AEON play it properly, a Prophet to TP in, the Chen creeps to tank towers, of course the early push potential if they ever get kills. And it's not just the Chen of the Prophet. Clinkz is a fantastic pusher in his own right. Once he gets that a single point strafe plus those fire arrows, or the serried arrows, excuse me, he can easily burst down the tower. In the laning stage, Clinkz will do really well too. It'll most likely be a Clinkz 101 against the Windrunner. I give the edge in this lane to the Clinkz, especially since he'll be in a safe lane. As I say that, perhaps it won't be. It looks like Windrunner's headed bottom. Are they going to run?
Prepare for
They may run an offensive tri-lane with the I'm not sure what they're doing. Maybe it'll be
Leshrac, look, they're just going 5 bot. They're going for a 5-man run bot
yeah.
for now. It looks like Leshrac is going solo mid because he's gone for that fast bottle build. So I think Ninjaboogie's playing the solo mid where he normally goes, although every now and then we will see him on a carry like the Morphling. But yeah, 5-man roam bottom, and we're going to see a bit of an engagement here possibly, although those treants will scout. Look at these treants.
Yeah, I just zoomed in on them. They're adorable.
This is going to be... Oh no, it's King. I thought it would be someone else. I thought it would be Ken again, but no, this time it's King. Those are very, very cute.
This could be the start that Duskbin wants to have. So Wildmon is going to lead the way. He's going to spot out Earthshaker. So the timing just not there for Duskbin. We shouldn't see any kills. Looks like it will be an offensive tri-lane here. I thought they might dual lane mid and just send the Prophet. In fact, it's going to be Ken mid. These are not the lanes I expected at all, but of course AEON have a lot of flexibility. They can choose the lane really however they want. They've got the Prophet who can offlane, can jungle. Same for the Chen. And of course the Clinkz pretty much can fit into any assignment, although he prefers to be either mid or safe lane for the farming. One of the benefits to having Klink's mid is he's a really strong ganker if he's got lockdown to let him get off those fryer arrows. And with the creeps from the Chen, as well as the Prophet TPing in,
The battle begins.
he'll have the opportunity to get that lockdown. And on top of that, he's great at controlling runes because of that windwalk. Such a mobile hero. The one downside to Klink's being here is generally he likes to be in a side lane because it gives him more room to chase and more room to harass. And with the high ground being an issue, as it always is for mid heroes, it's going to help Storm out a little bit. Still, Klink should have the advantage in this lane, and if he ever gets a good rune, he could easily turn that into a kill.
Double damage.
And there we go, bottom lane. Prophet is going to pull that creep away. It's just a 1v1 matchup with the Prophet versus Winner. And more importantly, mid lane is the CM. Nuts does have a DD rune. He's not going to find any openings to go in. In fact, there's it looks like he has been spotted out, as it is going to be Storm Spirit with the ES as backup, and we won't see too many chances for any pressure being put on by CM. So CM going to head back top just to support this Slaughter. And yeah, I mean, Leshrac and Lion at top, not convinced by this lane, although the early observer, this will be able to help protect them from this Chen gank immediately though. Chen and CM, they smoke up, they're going to head mid, CM gets revealed. Ooh, Chen is still smoked though, so if he wants, he can go towards mid lane, but it looks like they want to go top.
Oh, and this is where Lion really struggles, as well as Leshrac, both very squishy. Lion with that 290 base movement thing. Nice stop to start, and I think Hachiko's dead. No, nice split earth, as well as the impale and the fissure. Great chainstorm, but it's just not enough. That simply the Chen is too strong, and Ninjaboogie might be in trouble. Holding Lei in place. Wow, what a split earth by Ninjaboogie. I don't even think he had vision. Still, he looks to be going down here. Nuts, a couple more auto attacks will do it. He's got that Frostbite in just a few seconds. Will Earthshaker pick him off? No, the Frostbite forced to be used on Lei. Ninjaboogie will live. In fact, he's even turning around. Fisher as well. Who is going to die first? Oh, Nuts gets the kill. When Mr. Keel, a buyback from Lei. Oh, that is an interesting buyback because he doesn't have gold for a TP. It's not a big deal, but it's a little interesting.
Even if he did have a TP, he would not have gotten any more kills there. The buyback, I mean, what? It's 135 gold, but still, that's not the best use of early game gold. That's going to slow down those boots, I mean, just by 100, well, a bit more because he did die as well. But yeah, kills being exchanged, left, right, and center. 2 kills apiece, and Leshrac, Ninjaboogie not going down there. He's still in this lane, but he is low on HP and mana. 10 going up, does have that clarity being cancelled by that Centaur. But ultimately, I'd say, I mean, no one really came out on top. It was the Radiant team who did manage. I mean, it looked like AEON, they were the ones being the aggressors, and Duskbin just dealt with the aggression really well, although they did give up the first blood.
Yeah, that Earthshaker Fissure, I believe it hit all 3 heroes as well as the Centaur. That really turned things around. That's where Earthshaker shines, is in these early game tri-lane situations. So good defensively, especially against squishy heroes. And I've talked a lot about how squishy Duskbin's 2 intelligence heroes up top are. But hey, Chen and Crystal made it quite squishy in their own right. Lei gets, drops the Fissure, and Nuts in a little bit of trouble. The Impale to follow. The Split Earth not going to hit. But Duskbin is doing a nice job of really denying this pull. You have to keep in mind, though, as this aggression continues... Oh, and Ninjaboogie is going to go down. That was a very high damage test of fate there, and it's enough to secure them the kill. As the aggression proceeds, even if Duskbin does well to start, the Prophet is getting levels bottom. Once he hits 6, the ultimate alone can easily wipe out retreating heroes or set up a gank, and not to mention the TP Sprout. So strong. If he does leave, it frees up Windrunner for some farm, but still the kills are going to matter more, especially with AEON's aggressive early game lineup. They want to get off to a good start. The Forgotten lane here has been mid, and Ken 10 and 4. Yeah. Where's that? Actually, Storm is winning this lane.
Oh, TP in mid. You came at the right time. Storm is going to get ganked though. Ken needs to make sure he just survives when he does. He just goes Windwalk. He's going to leave this kill, maybe for the Prophet, as he does actually last here. So Ken with a kill on that's a well-timed gank by the Prophet. I mean, Prophet's doing fine at bottom, but killing this Storm Spirit off early before he's level 6 with the help of Clinks, that is a smart decision from King.
Yeah, delaying that Storm level 6, so crucial. Not only can he not gank, but he's also much easier to gank off, and with that kill, they may have time to go for another before he hits level 6, either with a smoke gank from the Chen, or perhaps more likely a TPN from the Prophet. Speaking of Clinks, he's almost level 5. Oh, a regen rune for Ken. What a timely regen rune at that. Up top, Sawamon has picked up a pair of Boots of Speed, and so too has the Leshrac. Leshrac has a lot of burst damage, so if the gank ever goes south, he could definitely punish Slardar, who has to be in melee range to get that stun, or to do his damage to get the Slytherin Crush off. Still, I give the edge here still to Duskbin because, or excuse me, to AEON, because they are so squishy, and a single Slytherin Crush on 2 heroes can really punish them. Oh, unless Sawamon getting caught out there. Nice chain stun, and he goes down. A kill they really need. I would like to see a couple more before the Prophet hits 6. At least one more. And speaking of that Prophet, he's just about there. What does he have on the Courier? 2 ropes of the Magi. He looks like he's rushing an Orchid. Or is that for the Clinks?
It does.
I think it is the Prophet. I think it's the Prophet.
Wow, I mean, he's, Prophet with 2 row of the Magic. He's got a Serpent Master. So we're going to see him TPing towards mid lane again, looking for another kill. It has been line at top and kills at the CM, but this mid lane, that's what you've got to watch. Blah, he gets found out, he gets sprouted. Ken will get this kill, and there's nowhere to run for Blah. He does go down. Ken taking a bit of tower damage, but he's got a salve, and another successful gank as, Prophet rushing the Orchid. Not necessarily a build I agree with. I think it's going to be very aggressive. It's going to come down to his positioning in these fights, because he's going to be quite squishy. Not that mobile because he doesn't have boots at all, but it's something that can work. It's just a very, very risky build.
It is risky because he's not going to have very much mobility. And sure, Storm was not having a good time, but Storm already a really nice hero to deal with Prophet in the mid game, because Prophet is often off farming on his own, and Storm can simply zip in, pull him in, and then any sort of follow-up, and Prophet will go down. It also gives him no survivability. It makes him very squishy, so at least the boots of speed. We could see him turn this into power trays and then go for the Orchid, and that might be the better choice here. For now, he's hanging on to his gold, has not made a decision. Nuts looking to place another ward as it is the 6-minute mark. Really timely rotation there. And Hachiko is going to take a lot of damage for the Snook, but he manages to pick up the Illusion Rune. Prophet could potentially TP in on this, and back here comes the Prophet. Looking for Hachiko. He actually the Hex to start, but I don't think he's going to get out of range. Split Earth to follow, but Clinks is not caught. And Ken, he eats the Impale. Well, and Biz, the King might actually go down. No, it will be the Lion that goes first, and ninjaboogie, now he's the one in trouble. Clinks has not eaten a creep yet, but still those fire arrows hit so hard. Double kill for Mr. Keo, as well as almost hitting level 6, only 6.5 minutes in. Exceedingly effective Chen play, also freeing up the Slaughter to farm up top. The only bright spot here right now is that Arjun is getting a little opportunity of his own, sitting on 36 CS. In fact, he's leading the board, so we could see that Windrunner coming into play in the mid game and turning things around. It's still looking pretty bad for Duskbin.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Windrunner is whether you're up against a hard lane, a tri lane, you're in a 1v1 matchup, you're in a tri lane, always you'll see Windrunner having a strong impact on the mid game. It's just a matter of how much farm is on that Windrunner. Sometimes there's a mech and 4-staff, sometimes it's just a mech, sometimes it's just a 4-staff. So it's one of those heroes, if you give him some free farm, it's not going to really change his mid game impact. He's always going to be such a pain to go up against if he can hit those shackle shots. So I think that AEON, it's quite a smart decision. Just give him that free lane, as long as he's not taking down towers on his own, which is what he needs to do, is spam power shot a bit more. He's already doing that now. He's just throwing one at this creep wave and start really chipping away at this tower, looking to make sure that his teammates can get some gold for the sacrifices they're making in these other lanes.
Yeah.
As King is actually TP'd into no man's land.
I just had an eye on that. What an interesting spot. Looks like he wants to set up some sort of a backstab here with 4 heroes in position. I would love to see Clinks join this fight, but for now, Zuamon gets fissured, not able to get that Slithering Crush off. Chen ult is dropped. In comes Prophet with the ultimate, and it looks like will Zuamon go down. He's getting sent back to base. He gets sent back just in time. So close, and Lei is going to drop, and with that, Duskbin completely on the back foot. Mr. Keo tanking the tower. One more tower shot. Oh, there he goes. Ninjaboogie still alive. In comes that Windrunner, shackling Nuts to a tree. Nuts in a lot of trouble. No power shot mana at the moment, but some right clicks might be enough to bring him down. Nuts able to find a way out. Ninjaboogie gets trapped. Ninjaboogie finally goes down. How did he survive for so long? Nuts will die, but not before delaying and saving the Kane, who is able to get on out of there. If that Chen ult wasn't there, if Chen didn't have level 6, that fight would have gone incredibly poorly for AEON, but instead another fight that goes not amazingly well for them, but decently so, as they do secure yet another kill on the Shrek. He has managed to pick up a pair of Arcane Boots in spite of those 3 deaths, though.
And King does rotate towards bottom lane, getting the tower denied. A kill on Clinks with that Sentry Ward. That is an important kill. They need to make sure that Clinks does not get too farmed. He's going for an Orchid as well. I mean, just multiple Orchids coming on these heroes. I mean, they are going to be useful against a lot of these heroes who rely entirely on casting spells. Stormster especially, making sure you can pick him off. But I feel like, a Sheepstick, a mech, these are going to be items that Prophet should have maybe gone for here. They are going to have the mech up on Chen once he can get the golden farm for that. Slider at top, he's got his treads up. Either going to go for probably a BKB or probably first getting that Blink Dagger. He does need that initiation. There's not much initiation coming from any of his allies at the moment, although King, with some very aggressive teleports, is looking to be a bit of an initiator himself.
Yeah, but Prophet is a very glass cannon initiator, and that only works in these smaller scale engagements when he has the element of surprise. As the mid-game approaches, teams are less likely to be caught out by a Prophet, and so you're right. We're going to need to see Slaughter do something. He's actually sent back to base here by Chen. Don't think he needed to be, but Chen was a little worried. He wants to make sure he keeps his starter alive. Ken,
Radiant's
still
middle
no
tower
Orchid
is
yet,
under
and he's
attack.
spending a lot of time roaming. Compare this to, I think it was PGO1 that we saw yesterday for MSI playing that Clinks, and he did not leave lane until he had his Orchid. I personally prefer that style of play a lot. Sure, Ken died once, but he could easily farm bottom and be pretty safe doing so. Especially with his tier 1 down, the lane is likely to push. So Windrunner did her job. She got that tier 1. In fact, I believe that's the first tower of the game. Indeed it is. Giving a little map control away. This is similar to how Light of Heaven plays as Windrunner. Generally not leave his lane, getting tons of farm all game long now. We'll have to see if the Light of Heaven style shackle shots are forthcoming. But I like the fact this Windrunner is getting big. She did TP in once to help top, but aside from that, just setting bottom. Windrunner's pop, nice power shot out. She will be absolutely fine, even though the Prophet ult does hit. She drops low, but she'll be okay, and a failed gank by the Prophet. I think that's his first failed gank of the game.
Yeah, it was a quick reactions by Windrunner, power shotting through that spout, did not have any tangos, and top lane, and instantly Duskbin looks to start pressuring down this top lane. CM and Slanna are both there though, so this is not really something there they can get a tower out of anything, and I agree, Windrunner just playing a more farm-oriented style and going, I mean, you can pressure down those towers, you can do some solo pushing, so I think it's a decent way to play the Windrunner. And the problem is going to be though, heroes like this Leshrac not getting all that much farm, and Lion as well. Level 5 still on him, so he hasn't even actually farmed boots. Hachiko not having the best of games, focusing entirely on the warding, upgrading the courier, and that is just going to make him complete and other food to these aggressive heroes, the Clinks, the Prophet, the Slider, and you've got the Chen Heal to back up, to back up Prophet and Slider when they do go initiating, so that means they can afford to be very aggressive, not to mention that Holy Persuasion. It was using that last fight when Slider ran in, got very low, and sends him back to base.
Middle lane, Prophet was carefully microing an illusion. He picked up an illusion and he was microing that illusion. And Chen actually fell for it. They ended up using a fissure as well as a zip. He did not pull it because it died from the zip, but still, really nice micro there. While Prophet was busy heading up top. Big army of ugly, well, not ugly, but weird-looking tree ends here. So strange not to have the tree on top. I feel like they're kind of naked. Suamon charging in very aggressively. They are going to get the tier 1 and expect to see a lot more pushes here as the mid game is upon us. Chen working towards that mechanism. Prophet picking up a kill along with Ken. These two have just been best friends from the word go and expect to see that continue, especially once the Orchid is up on the Clinks. Going to be so easy for them to pick off the Lion and even the heroes that have been getting some farm like the Leshrac and the Storm. They are still food at this stage of the game.
He's got his Orchid now at 12 minutes in. I mean, he has just got straight boost. He hasn't gone for the soaring, hasn't gone for anything else. Hand of God going to be popped. That will help. Was that Prophet at mid lane who maybe got initiated on, but there is an Invisor and that is popped on the Storm. But yeah, Orchid now, and that's something, that means Clinks can just kill this Windrunner. I mean, you may need Prophet to come in with a Sprout so Windrunner doesn't walk away, but you can stop Windrunner from using the Windrun, and that can be a possible kill, although multiple TPs going towards the bottom lane. Leshrac has Dust, and Windrunner can be looking to line up a Shackle Shot. If they can hit a Shackle Shot, you get some kills. Klinkso going straight into the jungle. If he spots out Leshrac, he will know, and the jig will be up, and it looks like he is heading towards mid lane now.
Well, Ken actually doesn't quite have his Orchid. He does need to buy that last quarter staff, but he is still very close. He'll have it in the next 30 seconds to a minute or so, maybe a little bit longer, probably more like a minute and a half. And once he has, I mean, Courier gets sniped by the King, and he's carrying a TP scroll, able to TP out. I think he just spotted it making a delivery thanks to this ward place right here. That's exactly what happened. What map awareness by the King, not only microing those illusions, but showing that he can be two places at once with his hero as well, immediately TPing in. That's a great reason to place a lane ward. Normally you see these lane wards placed primarily to catch any heroes they're trying to farm, either at the tower or once the tower is dead, but a secondary use, and Prophet just showed why he's such a ridiculous hero in this game.
Oh, it's so annoying. It's something you can't really be constantly worrying about. You've got so many other things on your mind. That Prophet TPing in behind the tower to take out that courier, and it's one of those things, by the time you notice, it's probably the fastest you notice it's already taken maybe at least one hit, normally two hits, and you can't really micro in time. That's just something almost entirely unavoidable for Duskbin. And they can't even punish the Prophet for it unless Stormster is in the neighborhood to go flying in. But Duskbin, they're in a bit of trouble here. They need this mech up on Winner, and they need to start getting some more towers. They've taken the one at bottom, something that AEON have only taken one of themselves. But top lane now looking to be the stage for a fight. Top river, it is Clinks who finds out ninjaboogie. He's popped He's popped an illusion rune, in fact, and it looks like there's not enough damage coming from Ken to get that kill, even with the Orchid now being up.
Well, they're trying to go for a push here. They do have Dust on Leshrac, but I don't think Dust is the correct form of detection to have against the Clinks, because if he's able to get that jump on you when you're trying to push a tower, then he's going to wipe you quite easily, especially with the support of your team. If you're going for a gank, Dust is fine, but if you're trying to actually push, you really need Sentry Ward for proper vision before Clinks can get in position. Swamon is taking a bunch of damage here, sent back to base. Chen Hail Force coming. Swamon can TP back in. The silence was popped on ninjaboogie. So they should be okay for the moment. In fact, all 5 heroes, Duskbin really want this tower, and even though they might get it, they're giving the King an opportunity to push bottom. The King also have his Orchid, double Orchid this early. 2 TPs in, he will simply back off, and without Storm being here, they're not going to be able to jump him. Storm is TPing in. How far will he jump? He's not going to even attempt it. The middle lane also was being pressured during that time. Ken is back in business. He's bottom. With the double Orchid, I could easily see them picking up 2 kills here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is a very possible kill. Clinks can lead it off with his Orchid, and yeah, Prophet will just follow right after. Prophet does get forward, but immediately Sprout, Orchid, and they're not even... yeah, they do use the second one as well, just to make sure. Clinks, though, getting fissured down. He's going to walk away perfectly okay. He did have that death pack for bonus HP, so he actually is still staying on full HP. Mid lane Lion alone needs to be careful. Prophet could even TP in, and there we go. King is going to look for this one. And the Nova, followed by a Frostbite. This looks like a dead Lion.
This is a dead Lion, and this is why Lion really struggles as a support hero. So squishy, so easily picked off. The disables are very powerful offensively, but Lion, you know, there's no blink on him. There's no ability for him to escape. And that base movement speed, it really hurts him. Along with that base armor of 1 at level 1. Look at him, almost level 7, still only 2 armor. Just such an easy target for the right-click power of the double Orchid. As well as that Clink's Death Pact, and I feel like AEON is pulling away with another game here. They just seem to be in control of all the lanes. Duskbin have that great mid-game, but they require a lot of items. None of these heroes are really fantastic without items. Leshrac, very squishy. He has gone for double Bracer. I like that choice. Just getting any form of HP. Aggressive zip in. Wow, huge zip onto Sulamon. Look at that range. Fisher to follow. He might still get away. In fact, he will get away. Sprint is too strong, and he's getting fairly close to a BKB. And with that BKB up, he is going to be a real nuisance here. Able to sit in the front lines, tank up while Clinks and Prophet deal the damage, pick off the stragglers.
And this is just a perfect game for a BKB. I mean, ES, Leshrac, Windrunner, Lion. I mean, this is just, it spells BKB all over. I expect even maybe Prophet to go BKB now that he's got this Orc in the 11s. We'll see Clinks getting one as well. They'll just get at least 3 BKBs in their team, I feel, come mid to late game time. Ooh.
Big
Lion
double kill
cleaning
there.
up.
So that all started with an Arjun shackle shot there onto a creep on from a creep onto Chen, latched onto him. Lion actually started to impale, then canceled the impale, timed it a little bit better, and then threw it out, hitting both heroes. Chen was able to pop the mech, but it just wasn't enough. So really nice patience there by Duskbin. In such a stressful game with elimination at stake, if they dropped it, or excuse me, not elimination, but you're dropping down the loser's bracket at stake. Elimination from the winner's bracket, that's a big deal. It's very difficult to stay calm and composed. Sometimes even for, you know, players in pub games, let alone with you know, all the possibility of going to $1 million tournament on the line. So really impressive composure being displayed here by Duskbin, who are definitely not out of this game yet. Still, it is AEON who control the pace and who have the potential to get pickoffs, and it is Duskbin who must look for AEON to make mistakes.
Yeah, and a big thing, I mean, if this game does go longer, if Duskbin starts to turn around, something that will really make it hard for them is going to be Roshan. I mean, AEON have Slaughter, Clinks, they've just got such a good line for taking out Roshan. I'm surprised they haven't taken Roshan already. I mean, they could have done it a good 5 minutes ago with their lineup. I mean, it is something that they're winning the lanes and taking down towers, so I think it's fine they haven't. But they definitely could be taking Roshan now, especially now that they've sort of backed off. They've taken 4 of those towers, 2 at bottom. They can just wait for the lanes to be pushed out, wait for a safe opportunity, and go take that free Roshan. Give the Aegis to either Slaughter or Clinks. Probably, well, maybe just the Clinks for now. I'm sort of 50-50 between those 2 heroes taking the Aegis, but it would just give them a big boost and make it so hard for Duskbin to win any sort of a team fight when they've got those 6 guys. But smoke out from Duskbin. Maybe they're expecting a Roshan attempt now, because a lot of those AEON heroes are missing, although they're actually in the jungle, and yep, they're pinging Roshan.
Oh, they are pinning Roshan. Will King run into them? This is a very dangerous time for him, and looks like he's just going to get a little bit lucky here. Oh, he's actually scouting with some of his trios. But looks like the courier gets
know
sniped.
He's there.
Oh, do they?
And
Yeah,
with the courier direction, they should know he's there.
Yeah,
they're pinging him. They have to know he's there because the courier direction. There we go. Storm flying in. Gonna find him, gets the grab off. I don't know if it's gonna be a fault disable. Yes, the fissure lands and King will go down.
Great pick.
Nice play from Duskbin. I mean, right place at the right time. I mean, it wasn't exactly great. I wouldn't call it a great play. It wasn't all that smart. It was just very lucky. And now Ken goes in at mid. He's gonna have to back off. But that's gonna help Duskbin out a lot.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't a Woe Dota worthy play, but great in the sense they really need all the pickoffs they can get. I want to mention Click was sitting on 3,000 gold. He is going for BKB, and you talked about how great it will be on Slardar, but it's going to be even better on Clicks, I feel, as he just dishes out so much damage. He's got that chasing power with the Windwalk, the Orca to amp everything up, and if you can get an Aegis as well as a BKB onto this Clicks, he can just become a terror on the map like anything, unlike anything that Duskbin has seen, and they've already been fairly well terrorized by Ken. He is 3-1-3, and of course with the Prophet there as well, 3-1-6. That's going to be pretty scary. That being said, it is double Orchid, and Orchid is a nice item for this stage of the game, but if Duskbin can get up some BKBs of their own on the Leshrac and the Storm, that'll really help turn things around. Orchid not going to scale nearly as well as something like a Hex, so we'll have to see. It is a ganking-oriented item. You have to make it pay off, and the kill score is still pretty even, but here goes that Roshan attempt. I expect Ken to be the one to pick it up, but Swamon would not be a candidate either, and in fact, he's already got a BKB. So does Leshrac.
Yeah, and I think Clinks is very close to finishing off his BKB. I think he had the he's already got the Mithril Hammer on his item. So yeah, he's just sort of 700 gold away from here. So they're going to give it to Slardar. Slardar is more the one in the front lines, and he hasn't actually got a Blink Dagger, so he's often going to have to run in, and by the time he's got in there, he may have taken a bit of right-click damage. And we will see whether or not Duskbin can hold them off now. The ES has gone for the Staff of Wizardry, so we're going to be seeing another 4-star on the ES, so a bit more defensive build here. You can help save your teammates, and you're not often going to be getting in those great positions for those Blink Echo Slams with a 4-star, but still, I don't think it's that bad a choice as Duskbin. They're looking for top lane. They've gone for another smoke gank. They're going to find King maybe. Fissure going to just land. The tip of it hits, but there's no follow-up. Is too far away, and Windrunner's actually got a gem here, so they're going to do some de-warding, but more importantly, have vision of the Clinks. But I do feel Clinks with the BKB coming out, we will have to wait the 30 seconds for that courier to respawn. But still, with the BKBs, I don't know if Duskbin can fight this.
Nice Sentry Horde here by Nuts. Whenever the enemy team is pushing your tier 1, you really want to make sure they don't have a lane ward. If they do, they can easily jump you. Speaking of jumping, the Fissure is going to start on Nuts. Splitter to follow, actually not timed properly. That is a sprinting Slardar. Zip in on Storm. Meanwhile, he's trying to pick off somebody. Not going to get anyone. In fact, the Orchid, nice 2-hero Slithering Crush. Argent in a lot of trouble. The Tornado even thrown up, and look how fast Ken is mowing through these squishy intelligence heroes. There goes the Gem of True Sight, and Ken did not even have the BKB. In fact, it's not over just yet. The King, Hand of God gets popped. He lives, and the BKB on ninjaboogie. Swamon has still not popped his. He's going to wait until he respawns. Meanwhile, Duskbin being driven back even farther. Ken looking to set up here. No BKB. He's got to be careful. He gets caught out in tower range, but he is able to pop the Orchid. 1 or 2 more auto attacks should be enough. 2 more, and down Hachiko will go. Ninjaboogie continuing to run. The Slardar amp damage really making Ken hit a lot harder. And are they really going to dive the base here? No, it looks like they will back off. Great fight. 3 heroes claimed in exchange for an Aegis. That's a worthwhile trade, especially if they can get this tower off the back of it.
Yeah, 2 really nice early kills, although I think the Prophet TP in was a bit too aggressive. Their Slide had already decided not to keep chasing with his teammates being blocked off by the Fissure. Losing Prophet was a bit unnecessary, but they're going to get a tier 2 tower out of this. They have won this fight. He is going to drop the Fissure. They might actually struggle to get this tier 2 tower, though. It looks like they will want to back off here. They've lost the Aegis as well, so losing both Aegis and the Nature's Prophet. I mean, AEON, it wasn't the best result in the end for them, although they did win it. And they're going to lose some of these chain creeps here to the tower. Nice defense from Duskbin, just spamming it off as much as possible, and that's really where their lamp excels. They've just got such great AoE spam. And that makes it hard for AEON. They can only fight in that sort of that small window where they have their BKBs and initiate in. Once that's gone, then they have to play very, very conservative.
Yeah, the chain stun on Duskbin is fantastic. The chasing power is actually quite strong. Sure, they don't have too many mobile heroes. They have the Storm, they have the Windrunner. What they have is absolute 100% lockdown with all the stuns that we've talked about throughout this game. The Kane is going for a Maelstrom. I don't really know why. They don't need damage on him. They already have the Clinks and the Slardar. I really feel either a support item like a Mechanism, a Pipe, even an Aghanim Scepter or a Necrobook, something to help keep him a little bit tankier, or ideally a BKB. I think those would be much better choices, especially the way he's playing and the way most Prophets play, which is often off on your own. BKB really counters what Duskbin has to offer, but he's going to go for damage, so I guess they want that second semi-carry as a backup option. We'll have to see, but this is a risky build by him and a little bit off the beaten path.
Yeah, no, it's something unusual. I would have liked. I think the BKB would have been a nice pickup for him, but the Maelstrom. I mean, he's going to be. Well, he's finished off his treads as well. I was about to say, is that going to be start going right for the Mjolnir? Often you'll just see the Maelstrom on its own, which I think will be the way he goes. As the Dire team, I mean, they have got the mech up on Chen. I mean, going for even a pipe at this point, just to limit some of that AoE spam, could help them out a lot. They need the Blink Dagger up on Slider, and I think that's going to be the next turning point. When Slider has his Blink Dagger, they'll have such a great initiation that it's going to be really hard for Duskbin to team fight.
Yeah, and with that Blink Dagger and Slardar, you followed up with amp damage and the clicks and the Prophet right-clicking. They are double 600 range heroes to work with, so although they're not the strongest right-click carries in the game, they don't scale as well as some other carries. They have that great range, and Slardar can set everything up. I expect to see a Slytherin Crush into 2 instant deaths if AEON play their cards right. They're not even going to give Duskbin a chance to react, plus the double BKBs on the clicks and the Slardar. There's nothing Duskbin can do while those are popped. Sure, it's a limited time window, but it's a time window during which Duskbin are 100% helpless. There's no Roar, there's no Black Hole, there's not even a swap to help keep you alive. It is just going to be all AEON dishing out damage and all Duskbin running away trying to save their own hides.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it is going to be. It looks like AEON are just happy to sit back for the moment, though. They're going to make this turn into a bit of a sort of safe mid-game stage. They don't want to be too aggressive, even though they have got the stronger team fight with these BKBs. Clinks, on the other hand, he's going to be happy to go for some kills. BKBs under the tier 2 tower, taking out the line and able to escape. And it looks like AEON now, with that one pick-off, may look to keep on putting the pressure on. They want to maybe take down some of these outer towers. I don't think they want to go all out, look for Raxi. They'll definitely want to wait for Roshan to respawn before they overcommit to anything like a tier 3 and a Rax push.
Well, 2 big pickups here for Duskbin as they've secured themselves, or excuse me, 2 big pickups in general. The Blink Dagger was picked up on the Slaughter, so more initiation going their way, but now Storm has a BKB of his own. Still, I think the Blink Dagger on the Slaughter is the more important pickup here. Even if Storm is in BKB form, Clinks and Slaughter's ultimate will allow them to still hit him extremely hard. Of course, we mentioned the Prophet. He's getting pretty big with that right-click damage too, and it looks like it will be a BKB next. This is going to be BKB wars, so if you love seeing gold shiny heroes, you're about to get a lot of them, guys. And it looks like we might see some initiation coming up mid momentarily.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Forstuff is up on the Earthshaker, so that's actually something that will help out his team more than anything. He's got 2 defensive items. Firstly, the Fissure, and secondly, he can save his teammates who maybe get silenced. I mean, if Storm gets silenced, you can use that Forstuff. Here we go. They've gone in. BKB's popped on Storm and Lestrak. Split Earth's going to catch up to Crystal Maiden. The Holy Persuasion, no! Is it going to save Crystal Maiden? Almost. Almost with the Hand of Gold keeping him alive, and now AEON are returning fire. They take out the line, but so far only support heroes have dropped. The BKBs are going to start wearing off, so those disables will come back into play, but the BKB up just long enough on Slider. They get the kill, Test of Faith, taking out the Lestrak, and now Winrunner forced to go running. Blink stun during the Winrun, and I believe Winrunner will go down, even with that heals. And we will see 3 kills for AEON, only losing the Crystal Maiden, and they may even get this tier 2 tower mid as a result of it. Prophet going to just TP straight to top, though, looking to just keep that farm going. 20-second cooldown, I mean, you can TP back to mid so damn fast that with this split push coming, they'll pressure that tier 2 tower for top and mid, and it looks like they may even get both of them.
Yeah, Duskbin popped their BKBs very early there, and 2 BKBs, 10-second charges used simply for a Crystal Maiden. Not a good trade, and more importantly, those BKBs were down at the on the back end of the chase that allowed AEON to get a bunch of kills, and on top of that, these tier 2 towers, so the map control is slipping away for Duskbin. And with no outer towers, you're up against the heroes that can punish it. The Blink Dagger on the Slayer, and of course the Clinks with his Windwalk, constantly running around the map at borderline haste speed, as well as the Prophet with his TP global mobility. This is a great lineup to choke the enemy out in their base, to really prevent them from getting any farm. And for Duskbin, it's going to be a matter of turtling, hoping for AEON to make some mistakes. Roshan is respawning pretty soon. That will be a second Roshan, so no cheese just yet. But as I say that, Ninjaboogie gets jumped. And in fact, Sawama going to be sent back, but maybe he'll kill Ninjaboogie first. If he hadn't been sent back, that would have been a kill, but instead he will survive. And a BKB charges force. He's the king.
Oh, King. Just gets out in time as well. Storm was looking. That is cheeky. That is cheeky.
Cheeky is the word. That is the word. Hachiko looking to place a ward here on the high ground. He does manage to after a bunch of pinging. And Sawaman is going to go back to his own Ancients. Look to do a little bit of farming here. At this point, Slaughter really has his core set. He can go for some more tank items. Maybe a plate mail. Maybe work towards an Assault Cuirass. Could go for something like a Vanguard or Vitality Booster or a Heart. I'd expect to see something along those lines. The Assault Cuirass would be nice, help them push, help keep these squishy heroes alive, or even a pipe. In this case, Slardar would be a great candidate to carry that pipe, because you have your 2 semi-carries already going for raw damage, and Slardar is going to be generally the front line, so he can use every extra bit of survivability he can get.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You do need to tank up as much as possible, and that's going to help out a bit. But for now, I mean, Duskbin, you've got to feel they're pushed up against the walls again, especially with Roshan respawning soon. If AEON can get their hands on that again, get the Aegis on probably the starter. I mean, with the blink and initiations, the BKB only keeps them alive so long, and Duskbin, I think, they want to prevent that. They want to be as aggressive as possible. This Clink's may be the one they scout out. Although, have they got? They've got a gem on the winner still, so that gem has been there for a while. I don't know if it's going to be the same gem or not. But
no,
I imagine it's a new one because winner just died.
It's a new one, and I know that because Chen has a gem as well, and I believe that was the gem from the last one. Speaking of that Chen, he's got an Aghanim Scepter. This is an outrageously farmed Chen. Oh, initiation onto the King. Fissure, zip in as well from the Storm. It looks like the King might go down. In fact, he will, but it's Clinks who's doing the crazy damage here. Lei gets silenced up. He will go down. They don't have detection for Ken right now. That gem is not in range to see him. Everything is happy because this Roshan is about to respawn. Slither and Crush onto Suamon, chewing through Storm Spirit, whose BKB was down. He was able to do nothing but die there. Bash on Arjun, as well as the Slither and Crush, locking him down. Lion can do nothing but TP out at AEON, losing, or Duskbin losing 4 heroes. This is going to mean that Aegis, and I think this may be a game that's just out of reach, slipping down to 14,000 gold. The BKBs on AEON are just too strong at this point.
It looks like we may be seeing an AEON versus Tongfu winner bracket finals matchup here, as AEON are in a pretty much unlosable position here. They have just got complete control. They've took out the key heroes. Leshrac, Winner, and Storm all going down, all trying to prevent that from happening. And now they're going to march on towards this bottom lane with their BKBs, with this Aegis up. They did lose Nature's Prophet, but hey, he can TP right in and just get right into the fray. And just, I mean, this is just going to be so hard to defend with this massive damage. Clinks has enough gold for his MKB. He's bought his MKB, and we're going to see them looking to close this out very, very soon.
The items just continue to pile up for Duskbin, or for AEON rather. And if you look at Duskbin, they picked up the 2 BKBs, but it's just, they're not as effective as they are for AEON, because again, it's all magical damage coming from Duskbin's side. There's nothing that goes through those BKBs, whereas the amplified damage does go through them, and the Clinks, the Prophet, they just hit so hard. The Prophet, he's got that BKB in just about 100 gold. That's going to be a 3rd BKB, a fresh 10-second one. He's also got that level 16 ultimate, so it's just a lot of burst damage from him. And Prophet can constantly be, you know, fighting on one side of the map, pushing on one side of the map, and then just join the fray whenever. So it really makes it hard for Duskbin to leave their base. They are smoked up. They're looking to make a go here on the King. He is going to back up. 4 staff on the Earthshaker, which has been up for a while now. Will they be able to get in range? They will not. He TP's out to join his comrades on the bottom lane. And I expect to see this BKB flown out to him momentarily. Maybe they'll wait for that, and then expect to see AEON go all in for this tower, as well as the Rex. It's going to be an extremely difficult fight for Duskbin. They're going to need the Shackle Shots, the Echo Slams, the Storm Initiations of their lives if they want to hold on for this winner bracket match and take it to a Game 3.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and this is going to have to be everything just executed perfectly, and they've got all their racks up, so as long as they can hold and win these next couple of fights, they're still in this with a chance. But right now, there we go. Clinks is not going to even miss hitting uphill. Glyph is going to get popped. Slardar is going to go right, and they found the ES. Wow. He's got the force up, but he goes down by about 2 right clicks with the amp damage. And now Slardar looking for more. He's not going to get too many kills, although it is going to be Leshrac who goes down to Clinks. And BKB popped on Storm. They may get this Clinks here. Clinks does not have the Aegis. Clinks taking a lot of damage. Storm just forced to fly out. GG is called by Ninjaboogie though. And AEON are going to go on to the winner bracket finals. Duskbin dropping down to the loser bracket.
Well, AEON was just the better team today. They outplayed them a bit of a different play style this game, but ultimately it was all about them securing an early kill, never looking back. Ultra kill on Ken. Just a punctuation mark to an exciting but one-sided affair. 30-13. Looks like that may be the final score, unless they go for some more fountain capping and Storm zipping in and out. Perhaps going to blind them. Echo Slam after the 4-step. Nice job by the Earthshaker there. How do we feel about Duskbin's chances? I'm not sure who they're going to match up against in the lower bracket. Oh, it will be Ice, actually. They will be playing Ice after this match.
Yes.
And
yeah,
I still favor
Duskbin.
I gotta say, I think Duskbin is a better team.
I mean, Duskbin, I mean, while getting outplayed by AEON here, I've got to say they still look promising. They didn't look like they were a bit lost. They had strategies in mind. They didn't execute everything as perfectly as they have in the past. But I still say Duskbin are looking like they should be strong enough to beat Ice. And Ice did not look very convincing against Mineski. That best of 3, while being very entertaining last night, there was a lot of mistakes being made and some... I mean, it could have easily gone either way. It could have easily gone to Mineski, especially that game number 1 where there was that big comeback.
Yeah, completely agree. Mineski, while they are very fun to watch, are not a top team at all. They were very sloppy, and still they found a way to take a game off Ice. Almost won the series. I mean, Ice came so close to losing that. They pulled it out, but frankly, it was more Mineski losing than Ice winning, and that's never a good position to be in when you're going to be going up against a team like Duskbin, who can punish mistakes. They got a decent start on game number 1, even in this series against AEON, who's definitely one of the top teams in this tournament. And you know, against a team like Duskbin, you just can't make the kinds of mistakes that we saw Ice making yesterday. Hopefully, they've gotten some good rest, some good practice in the interim, because they're going to have to be on top of their game if they want to have any chance at staying alive in this tournament.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, AEON, I mean, what do you think of their chances against Tong Fu?
If they play like this, I think they're pretty good. Tong Fu just has this knack for, you know, forcing their opponents to make mistakes and then punishing them with impunity. Sort of like what AEON has been doing to Duskbin, but maybe a little bit more refined. So, I'm not sure. I can tell you one thing for sure. Tong Fu is not going to give away a profit in the chat.
Yeah, and I can tell what I'm hoping is that Tong Fu do not pick Pudge again. As long as they don't pick Pudge, I'd say Tong Fu will definitely be the favourites there. It may be actually AEON going for a Pudge. They are somewhat known for that. But yeah, Tong Fu vs AEON I feel will be a great series. That's going to be tomorrow. Right after this we will have Duskbin versus Ice. I don't know, there may be a small delay for that before we have that match. It looks like it will be in about 45 minutes time. But yeah, AEON looking good, and definitely Duskbin, they're still alive though. There's still hope for them.
The last Pinoy hope is not out of this one yet, and I'm sure all Pinoys everywhere, while they may not be rejoicing, will be happy that they still have a team to root for. So AEON advances to the winner bracket finals. Duskbin dropping down to the loser bracket, will be going up against Ice. We'll have that final Eastern qualifier match of the day coming up for you guys soon. Again, it will be a best out of 3. 2 quick matches, both best out of 3s so far today, only going for 2 games. Would love to see this one actually take into a game 3 and hopefully be a little more back and forth. But it will be Duskbin, who are the heavy favorites heading that series. So stay tuned, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll have Duskbin versus Ice coming up for y'all.